Good morning, Wall Street winners. It is Wednesday, April 16th, and we've had a flood of news and earnings come in. First thing, we had ASML, the Dutch semiconductor company making advanced lithography equipment, announced this morning, and they beat on their sales and their revenue. Their sales and revenue were up and kind of in line with what was expected. They beat on earnings, which was fabulous. So their margin increased, but they gave muted guidance on their Q2 sales. So that was a bit of a damper on things going into the day. And it is causing their stock to be off quite significantly. So you can see here in the pre-market, they're down almost 4%, down $26 at 657. They closed at 683 yesterday. That is putting a damper on really the entire NASDAQ and the chip companies. If we start there, looking at the Yahoo Finance app from the bottom of this going up to the top, TSMC down almost $4.50. You've got Google, which announces in 8 days. So next week, we're going to hear from Google. It is off about $3, couple percent there. You've got NVIDIA, which is getting slammed. It is off $7 now and 31 cents. Scrolling further, BABA's down, not a semi, obviously. Meta, which has been struggling all week, is down again in the pre-market. One of the few that is up is Netflix. It was up $45 yesterday. It had a stellar day following another stellar day, and today looks like it's positive as well, at least in the pre-market. It announces tomorrow, Thursday, after market hours. So it looks like the feeling is pretty positive towards Netflix and what they're going to release. Tesla is off 5. You've got Amazon down. AVGO, which is Broadcom, is down almost $7. LRCX, which is kind of in that same space and announces next week in 7 days as ASML. It is down $2.50. You've got Qualcomm off almost $3. On Semi down less than $1. So your QQQ off 6.5. It's pretty red and bloody in the overall NASDAQs and tech section today. Let's scroll up at the top and then we'll start our way back to the bottom. So what we'll have a look at here, gold is positive this morning. You've got the NASDAQ futures obviously down 220-ish points. The VIX is up 1.5, 1.49, 1.5 points. I thought it would be up more based on the conversations going on. If we scroll down through health and retail, it was a bloody day yesterday, almost everything in the red, and it is looking like it's a lot more red today with a few and very few exceptions. JB Hunt had earnings after market close yesterday, and they actually surprised me. They came in with a beat on earnings and revenue. I don't know what the future forecasts look like, but it didn't seem negative, and I didn't hear it was negative. I don't know what it was, and they're down $8. So I said yesterday I wouldn't be buying JB Hunt. I think the numbers are going to be bad. I was wrong, and the numbers were good, but they are still down significantly into the pre-market session. They're down 8 and change. We go into oil and utilities. The utilities had an okay day yesterday. I mean, Vistra and Con Ed, both kind of hovering in a range. Vistra moves a lot more than Con Ed does and priced relatively similar, but I'm not sure what the difference is. I haven't looked into size of business in terms of revenue and balance sheet, but Con Ed moves like a utility does, which isn't very much, which is good if you want something risk averse and pays a good dividend. Vistra moves a ton, and I'm just trying to figure that one out. I haven't dug into that yet. Valero and Chevron and Exxon, all of these up today because crude is up 57 cents in the pre-market. It was down earlier. I wouldn't be surprised if it turned and went down again. Not sure what's driving that up. There's no good reason for that. We've been through technology, so I'll scroll down past that. And then we get down into financials. And financials, for the most part, had a good day yesterday, but a fair bit of red today. We've got the S&P 500 under 5,400 right now. down 9 or 10 points in the, actually, I think it's down 40 points in the pre-market. That was yesterday's close. So maybe in the 53, 60 to 80 range, somewhere in there. We've got the big banks. We had all of them have reported. We've got some other banks that have reported. Citizens Bank reported. I think they missed because they're down about 4%. And we had some others who must have exceeded. I don't follow them, so I'm not going to mention them by name. We are probably going to see a bit of a down start, a red start to the financials today. But it might not be a good time to look at picking up a little bit of Goldman or Morgan Stanley. I really like the announcements coming out of these, and it doesn't appear as though they're, because of the 90-day delay, I think it's going to give these financials another 90 days for some extreme volatility in the markets and the trading profits that come out of those. So I think they're going to be pretty well positioned for this quarter, and they're definitely priced near lows for the year. If you look at the 1 year on this and go back to, well, let's call it May, I guess, of last year, it was down in the 400s, so it's around 510 now, so it is up, but nothing compared to where it was a month and a half ago, which was at 680, 672, 680. So lots of room for upside potential and movement. Goldman announced a $40 billion share buyback. So if anything is going to help its earnings, it's going to be a $40 billion share buyback. So I'd be looking at potentially putting some of those for the long term into the portfolio. That would be more of a buy and ride it up on a recovery type scenario. Not saying there is going to be an immediate recovery, but it has to come at some point. And if there's a stock or a sector, a stock within a sector that is going to get through this turbulent time with less pain than another sector, it's going to be the big financials with big trading components or departments. Charles Schwab announces tomorrow. I'm pretty positive on this. I think you'll get a $1 or $2 bump on this tomorrow if earnings are good, which I do expect they will be. So this is one I'm going to keep an eye on today. And that's where we are. We've got retail sales coming out this morning, so keep an eye on that. That'll help to determine consumer sentiment, which is important. As we know, the U.S. consumer drives the U.S. economy. I'll just flip back momentarily to the Bloomberg just to make sure I haven't missed anything in the actual news. China being open to talks. Okay, well, that's positive in the overall scenario. Global tech stocks drop on ASL warning, which is what is beating up NVIDIA. NVIDIA warns Trump that the curbs on China chips could cost $5.5 billion to their business. So that's a big challenge. You've got everything going on with the large U.S. educational institutions, and that's really where we are right now. A lot of people talking about turning to real estate in this. In these times. Bank of Canada today is going to announce an interest rate decision. So not that that's going to affect many people outside of Canada, but they're expected to hit the pause button and wait to hear more about tariffs and how they affect the economy before making a move on interest rates. So we'll have to keep an eye on that this afternoon. And that is where we are on the 16th today. So good luck in your trades. If you like the videos, please hit the like and subscribe button.